Ladies and gentlemen, and this time I already have the stream data pushed down so that hopefully everything goes smoothly. I listened back to yesterday's video and man, you couldn't half the time the audio was getting cut out. So this time we'll just go lower bit rate for higher stream quality, even though it's a lower resolution. Anyways, thank you all for joining us yesterday. I had a great time. We did over 2 hours of live stream. I wanted to go live this morning mostly because to take the time to go through and upload a video right now, it was just not what I wanted to go through. It was more time that I would actually like to invest today. I've got some stuff to do. Again, like I said, at the start of rainy season here, one of the main things we want to do is basically always be leading into making sure we're getting work done. So, because the rainy season has been taking over, it actually puts me a lot of time. But we've got all the ditches finished. The greenhouse is almost finally finished being planted as well too. So it's a great time of year. Bitcoin broke out of that 7150 area that we were looking at yesterday. For those of you who were on the live trade stream with us yesterday, we were actually trading off the pivots of Bitcoin and Engine. And as you can see here, this is what I was mentioning yesterday, is that Engine and Bitcoin run inversely. So here you can see at approximately May 13th, or yes, at what says 10 a.m. here, if we go back over to the 1 hour on Bitcoin and look at the same spike, you see the price in Bitcoin going up aligns perfectly with the time that Engine went down. So yesterday when we were trading in Engine, we were actually trading off the inverse of Bitcoin again. So to some degree, it's like going into a short. I guess. It's a stabler way for me to do it. I like trading in the space in general. Again, I like to acquire more Bitcoin. That's why I always trade other tokens versus Bitcoin's price, not US dollars. It's really easy to get confused and say if you're trading a Binance token, today it looks like it's up 9%. You'd be like, yeah, Binance is up 9%, but that's only 3% against Bitcoin 7%. So technically, you're only up 3% versus Bitcoin's price, which is still rising. So it's really this kind of confluence of events where, because the ecosystem itself has a new money, I think it's best to chart in the new money. And that's what Bitcoin is really leading into. So I wanted to bring up something in the news that I had seen about eBay looking to accept cryptocurrency. Now it's kind of, I think it's ironic, maybe I'm not using this word correctly at the particular moment, but what I feel is ironic is the fact that people, all they want to do is buy more Bitcoin, not use it to spend on anything right now. So adoption isn't really going to come from a saver's mentality. I think a big portion of adoption, that some of the next big swings are going to be coming from the government's failure to do anything properly. I mean, they've done that all the time. I mean, that's all governments have been able to do, is they've been able to fail at everything. That's like the only thing we can rely on them for, is for them to do a bad job. Thanks, governments. You guys are fantastic. You always overtax the poor generally, because the rich know that they can just leave, go to a different tax jurisdiction, or claim massive amounts of losses and pay no taxes for the year, while everyone else kind of at the bottom gets chewed up. And that's really what Bitcoin, I think, is about. Like, for me, conceptually, philosophy, like the philosophy behind this idea, is that we've been basically being robbed by the money controllers for a very long time. Now, it puts us in a very interesting situation, because now we're the money controllers. I mean, you know, if you own 1 or 2 Bitcoin, even at a low level, you're far in advance of what the 1% could be, because 21 million tokens is not a lot. We also have to figure that we've lost a few of those by people throwing out hard drives. Some of those wallets that have 50,000 plus Bitcoin, you know, they might be in a dump somewhere in England. So what's really exciting here, one of the reasons I wanted to go live too, Bitcoin's about to test its last high at 75.80, and this is really going to be the confirmation of some type of bull market feelings. Deeply into my abstract scientific beliefs, but I believe we're going to have a lot of troubles with food shortages over the next few years. Big crop losses look like they're going to be coming in. And for those of you that don't know, it snowed in Costa Rica the other day. So that, oh no, yeah. So in case anyone cared, if you go to my Twitter feed here, follow us on Twitter if you haven't yet. It's always helpful. But on my Twitter feed, it snowed just north of me here in Costa Rica. So this is a photo from a friend of ours up in the higher, maybe around 5,400 feet in Costa Rica. So we have elevations as high as 13,000 feet in the mountain just outside of my door here. It actually pivots up and you can watch it all the time. It's fantastic for lightning storms. But to see snow in this area, anyways, what I'm trying to lead into here is a relationship between Bitcoin's price and then survival, because I believe if Bitcoin is going to go to hundreds and thousands of millions and millions of dollars, the majority of people are going to be in survival mode. And with the potential of crop losses being right around the corner, unstable abilities to produce food all around the world, this could become very chaotic. And that's really the point, I think, of interest for me, more so than Bitcoin's. I mean, if Bitcoin goes to $1 million and you can't buy food at the grocery stores because there isn't any for sale, what good is having wealth? I mean, this is always one of those abstract portions that have kind of confused me, is where are we going to be when this finally happens? Are we going to be in a place where you can actually stably operate inside of an ecosystem and a community, or are they going to coalesce with each other where money might not be able to do that much for you over the next few years, depending on how much you have? So I had a great chat with my legal counsel and on the other. So we'll get into the charts here. I just want to rant a little bit about money buying happiness. And I said for me, money buying happiness is probably somewhere around the $100 million but it's also on the contrast to get there or to work that hard or all the responsibility for it. It's like, you know what? I love gardening. I love going outside and playing music and sitting in the grass, and I don't need any money to do that. So I think it's constantly finding that balance of work-life relationship to what wealth is for you, because at a certain level, yes, I think wealth can buy enough distraction that happiness is apparent. I used Dan Bilzerian as the example, which is like, okay, we're just gonna fly private jets everywhere and put like 6 or 7 high-class escorts. I don't know. He's probably paying them, I'm sure. Maybe he's not. Maybe that's payment for them is to get the social media exposure. I don't know. He actually has done a brilliant job of social media planning. Dan Bilzerian, for anyone who hasn't seen his channel, wild. So it's probably I wanted to drop in there because I think we're at that relationship over the next few years where we're going to really start to see survival come into play. I've been telling people that I think we're going to have snow here in Costa Rica for years, and to see it happen today is just as good as Bitcoin hitting $10,000 to me, because when Bitcoin was at $200, I told people Donald Trump was going to be president, Bitcoin was going to go over 10K, and that it was going to fucking snow in Costa Rica. And everybody laughed at every single one of those ideas. And I've been validated every step of the way. So if my predictions are getting better at being right as we get closer to time, what worries me is that the next things that come true are the downsides of why we see snow in Costa Rica, which means food could become very problematic all over the world. We could see commodity prices and grain skyrocket. This could be a real instigation of inflation to, well, maybe it costs you $1 million to buy bread and your Bitcoin is worth $1 million. Well, what good does any of that do anybody? So I'm not saying that's the case. I'm not a doom and gloomer. I don't actually like to follow down that path very often. But seeing snow in Costa Rica today was just a wild, a wild thing. The things you don't think in just a very, very few short years. Anyways, Bitcoin's coming up to test the previous high that it had at around 75.80. Now, again, important, very, very important is to always scroll out to your higher time frames, whether I'm doing swing trades, day trades, long-term investments. Like Bitcoin is a long-term investment. Like I said, I've had it since 2012. That's pretty long-term. There are very few things I've held in my possession that long. Let's see. Let's think. What have I had since 2012 that I still have now, aside from myself? Oh, I still have this gold necklace. My computer's changed. I've upgraded all of my gear, my vehicle, nothing. I mean, there's very few things I've owned in this life for as long as I've owned Bitcoin. So I think what's important to remember is long-term investments versus swing trades versus day trades. So yesterday we did a little day trade. We pulled off like 3.5%. I actually even had to wait out a negative loss for part of the day for it to come back up to real loss. It's a very small part of my position in Engine yesterday. So to see it buck down against Bitcoin's price is great, because that's what I was mentioning yesterday, is that Engine and Raven actually run inversely to Bitcoin's price movement. Whereas Litecoin, see, it's going up. It's currently 5% up off its US dollar high, 2% below its Bitcoin movement, right? So they seem to move in unison. What I'm actually looking for is tokens that move inversely, because then I can play off the back of Bitcoin and earn more Bitcoin without having to use leveraged trades, which is just, in my opinion, dangerous. I've done it once or twice. It's great if you see a big long-term trend coming in, and you can ride that long, and you can hedge your position with a short at that same time. It's a nice way to go, so you can kind of follow the lead of the market, of the trend being your friend, essentially. So we have not broken down below the super guppy in the mid range at all on the daily chart. We actually bounced right off at around the 5100. For those of you that joined us yesterday, I love the super guppy. It shows a lot of really nice characteristic behaviors, and I love the color spectrum too. It's always a beautiful thing. Again, the more time you can spend studying, researching, diving into all this stuff, I think the easier it becomes. So now the outlook here is basically, are we going to go higher? Did we enter a bull market? That's basically the question. And if you go to the greed fear index on alternative.me, you guys can find it here. We're currently sitting at 78. If you look at the all-time, where's the previous high data, more history, there it is, it's loading. So we don't have history back up to the beginning of, or late of 2017, which would be helpful. But here in February, the bounce was around 11,000 to 15,000 from 20, and that was at around 74. So currently today, we're sitting up at 78. So we're starting to peak out. Now, I made a statement earlier this morning in the Bear Den that essentially resonated with the idea that you can actually rev an engine at redline max for quite a bit longer than you'd think before the engine blows up. And the Bitcoin engine is a pretty fucking strong engine. Like I said, it's been around for quite some time. The fun preface this leads me into, though, is also the importance of other UTXO blockchains, especially older UTXO blockchains. Something like Flow, to me, is becoming more and more interesting. So here's the preface, right? Let's say Bitcoin is money, and I definitely think it's earned that position. It's money now. It's rising rapidly. It's outperforming every other asset class in the space. It's safe, it's secure, you can own it, you can hold it, and it's more tangible than most people think. They say, oh, if you can't hold it, you can't own it. Well, if you can remember the code, you can store it in your mind. That's even better than gold, because I don't have to walk around with a brick of fucking nonsense in my pocket. It doesn't make any sense. But this you can store mathematically. You could walk across borders with nothing but math and words in your brain, and you could walk across borders with billions of dollars. Bitcoin has destroyed some of the laws that were put in place to stop money laundering. It's a brilliant thing. Now, I don't suggest criminal activity, but what I do say is that it's important that freedom exists for everybody, because as soon as you restrict one group of people, you're inadvertently restricting another group, even if it's not the group that you intend to restrict, which is generally the criminals. So, I mean, HSBC hit with massive money laundering fraud, and they get slaps on the wrist, right? Where if you as an average individual did that, you'd end up in prison for life. So there's a very distinct, noticeable difference, I think, that people have recognized, is that if you are in the blue, white-collared game and you make mistakes that the average person can't make, you're basically free from any charges. And I think more and more the disparity, the very, very discouraging disparity between those things is what's dangerous. And again, I'm at the point in my mind right now where, for me, even if Bitcoin goes to $1 million, it's like the movie in The Big Short. It's like, yeah, I want to do a dance, and I want to be super excited, but I also know that this is coming off the back of a failed, basically monetary experiment here, where we've ran negative interest rates for, I don't know, the last decade, printed exorbitant amounts of money into the system, basically creating a slush pool. That's kind of scary. I mean, if we end up in depression levels where people can't get food, I mean, people don't know how to farm anymore. They don't have access to wells in their backyard. They don't rely on their neighbors to help with things. We don't have any of the community infrastructure that we had in the 1930s when we hit the Depression. So if we start, and again, my main concern here, I don't give a fuck how high Bitcoin goes. If food is at survival mode, no one cares about money anymore. It's one of the strangest things. So I'm starting to speculate of Bitcoin's price inflation off the potential rampant pack of a failing global economy. And again, so it's one of those moments where you want to do a dance, like, yeah, bull market's coming, but also I've been right about things before. So if we're right about other things that are in this same band of area, like, okay, remember, I was telling people Bitcoin was going to go to well over 10 grand when it was at $600. And I also told them it was going to snow in Costa Rica. I look like a fucking crazy person, right? Just, oh yeah, listen to the fucking retard on the side of the Choco Mountain talk about how it's going to snow near the equator. You don't want to bet on that. And I put bets on that. That's almost stupid. So what concerns me here is that even though we're excited, the prices are going up, I'm deeply worried for the rest of civilization. I'm deeply worried for the billions of people that have been living right under the poverty line. What happens when they hit survival mode? Not me, but all the people that live around me and all the people that live around them. They're in disparaged moments, and that's not going to be fun. I mean, I guess you could think to yourself, well, I guess I'll just get in a heavily armored vehicle and drive to the airport and fly in a private jet to somewhere where the problems aren't happening. But we could see basically eruptions of systemic societal disruption all over the planet if we hit food shortages. And that's, look, I know I'm talking about trading Bitcoin, and this doesn't sound like it's connected. This is why I love the Bear family so much. Those of you that enjoy the content know deeply why I'm talking about food prices and Bitcoin. It's because food is more valuable than money. If you can't buy it, it's worth more than money, right? If you're in the jungle and you're dying, well, hold on, let's use the desert. If you're in the jungle and you're dying because of lack of food, you don't know what the fuck, you don't know what you're looking for. There's food everywhere here. This is one of the reasons why I moved here. I could literally give away all my shit and I could just walk back and forth to the beach every day and I'd be fine. You don't need any money to live here if you know how to walk and cut down coconuts, right? Things are good, but the rest of the world is what I'm worried about. Anyways, I went off on a little bit of a tangent there. The snow thing today was a real shocker. I think that's more impressive to me than Bitcoin. Even if Bitcoin went to $20,000 right now, I'd be like, yeah, but it snowed in Costa Rica. Like, does anyone hear that? I don't care how high the Bitcoin price is. If we see the indications of what would cause food shortages, which is basically abstract climate change in parts of the world that normally produce things like avocados, lemons, bananas, all the corn, the grain, it really makes me ponder again the whole wealth scenario. If no matter how much money you have, sometimes you might not be able to solve your problem. So back to that idea, if you're in the desert and you've got a shit ton of Bitcoin and there's no food around and no one to buy it from, your wealth is not worth anything. So I like to make those comparisons for a few reasons. Obviously, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a doom and gloom. I don't think everything's just going to societally collapse all at once. But I do think we're going to start to see those little explosions, depending on what country you live in, start to take place now. What's taking place in Venezuela, in France, these are only going to become increasingly worse. So I think the plus side to the money is that you can potentially leave where you are. So if you're, anyways, the snow thing today really threw me off, guys. I was super excited to do some charting with you, but I can't get it out of my mind. What happens as a question if food starts to become scarce? Just in general, we can't produce it. There's not like we're just going to make more cereal, like produce more like chemically constructed ideas, and maybe that's what we'll see. Maybe we'll have to see companies that are producing genetically modified and engineered meat and corn, because we could see a serious impact here. Snow in Costa Rica is no fucking small laughing matter. And again, Bitcoin could be at $20,000 right now, and I would still put snow in Costa Rica at a higher level of interest to myself, because I'm interested in the whole story. That's a big part of, I think, finding one's personal wealth. Anyways, I won't digress too far. Let's give Bitcoin the bullish case scenario. Let's scroll out to the 1 day and then look at where we could potentially see some topping out again. So we've actually hit the second level here of resistance. The next level shoots us all the way up to 81.20. So if we break through here right now at the $7,500 mark, we're going all the way to 8,200 very quickly. We'll do it probably in the course of a few days. So keep a very close eye on it. You know what we'll do is we'll just stay live for this right now, because if we break through this volume profile in the next little bit, yeah, it's just going to run like mad. Because the greed and the fear, you can hear it in people's sentiments, like, oh, so you didn't buy it lower. It's like, man, you don't even know. Like, you don't even. I have one of my best friends here. He started Silk Almond Milk. Guy has absurd amounts of money, right? Can do whatever the fuck he wants. Yet when we sit down and have conversations, we are all struggling with the same thing. We're all struggling with finding deeper relationships and connections with one another, a deeper sense of purpose and well-being for the planet at large, for everybody in our families and in our communities. So I think it's really important to remember that, that when push comes to shove, the real value, again, aside from, being able to just, I guess, pay for distractions, which again, I think you could do for long enough to bring happiness into your life to some degree, at the $100 million range, is that even if you have that, you're going to run into the same problems. My friend has that, and he has the same problems as me, right? It's not that, and I mean, we have vastly different problems in terms of like what we're trying to do, because he's twice my age, but I think it's important to notice. And generally we don't have any friend in our close relationship group that has $100 million just kicking around, so the importance of that idea, again, because I had a few people message me being like, whoa, well, you can buy happiness, and what about paying for medical bills for your family, and doing things for other people. And I think that's one of the things that we see the most of, is that generally when people make a lot of money, the first thing they go to try to do is how to give it away, how to make the world a better place, because you realize you can't do much for yourself with it, because you're satiated quite easily. So we're looking for a breakout here at, volume at 75.27. So we're gonna get to see here in the next few hours, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very exciting. Again, for me, I've had my HODL position since 2013, 2012. I'm not touching it. I made some great trades last year. I also made some horrible business ideas, but also that's okay. That's what happens. So right now, as much as I'm excited about Bitcoin's price going up, and I really thought about this yesterday. The whole way up from under $1,000. I've been a huge evangelist of this technology, not because it makes me more money, but because I'm deeply, deeply concerned about the well-being of other individuals. Less so than myself sometimes, apparently. It's a very noticeable thing. We often take better care of other people than we do ourselves. It's easier. We often treat ourselves as the bad guy, but I'm deeply concerned with the well-being of the society as a whole, and knowing that this monetary renaissance and revolution is really going to only end up in the hands of. Look, I was already in the top 1% of earners, right? I was in my previous business. We were averaging anywhere between $10,000 and $50,000 a fucking month in profit. Me alone. I was the only person in the company for a little while. So I was in the 1% for the last few years, and now I'm still in the 1%. I'm in the top 1% of the entire fucking global population's average yearly fucking salary. And that's discerning to me, because I want everybody to do better. And that's one of the reasons why I invested in Bitcoin, is that I believe that in some way, if we can shape the story as it goes, we can build a better future for everybody. I know this has nothing to do with Bitcoin. I'm sorry, guys, that I go off on such long rants and tangents about wealth instead of like charting. I'm deeply concerned about the concept of wealth, not like, oh, I've got more money or I've got more property. I want to know like the general concept, like the word asset, right? That to me could be a bunch of things. And I've made this conjecture over and over and over again. And the reason I'm doing it isn't because I'm telling you, it's because I'm reminding myself, I'm learning myself that the value of wealth and asset is a concept. It's a concept of abundance. I walk down my driveway with no shoes on, listening to the wind blow through the leaves, pull some fruit off the tree. That to me is is so much richer than money, right? So I've got enough money right now with the company to do most of whatever I want. I could go fly wherever I want, business class. I could take a nice vacation, and none of that interests me. I don't fucking care. It just sounds superfluous or frivolous to some degree. It doesn't excite me or interest me in any way at all. And look, I've done it. I've lived in $10 million homes with my partner, flown around. We've had $100,000 sports cars. And the real crux of my dilemma on a daily basis is deeper personal connections, a richness with every individual that I meet along the way. And there's nothing that money can do to change that aside from, the small things. Maybe you could pay yourself, like have a better trainer, but you could do that your fucking self. It's not like you need the money. Just use your will better. Go work harder, right? So a lot of the things money can solve, you can solve without having any money if you work hard. Where's my rant going with this? Okay, my rant in this particular place is I feel set. I feel settled. Like for what I'm interested in, for my capabilities, for where I want to go in the long term. I prefer a humble lifestyle. It's more enjoyable for me. I also prefer the classy lifestyle, which means if I want to, I can jump on a business class flight to go do some work somewhere in Asia and then come back. Fall asleep on my plane ride because I don't want to lose my mind sitting like this for 12 hours. So obviously money is a useful tool when you need to do something. But right now, I think what's most important for me and what I want to share here, and it's one of the reasons why Arcane Bear as a channel will stay quite niche, I'm sure, is I'm not trying to pander just to the price of Bitcoin going up anymore. It doesn't even make a difference to me anymore. It stopped making a difference to me last year, and that's what I realized. That's why my main focus right now is to build a company where we can go build orphanages or help clean up beaches, because those are things that bring more purpose in my life. Not more money, more value of character. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know I go off on long-winded tangents. It has nothing to do with trading. It doesn't make anyone more money. It doesn't make anyone have like more Bitcoins in their Bitcoin account when I do that. But I have to always come to the conclusion that it doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't matter. If you took everything away from me today right now, my skill sets, like my personal internal assets of charisma, conscientiousness, being willing to explore and adding, like using creativity, that's more valuable to me than money, because I could just go and live my life. I don't need this. Money's just a tool. It's like having sunglasses. Like, great, so when it's bright out right now, I can block that. It just acts as something to give me the ability, or if I want to like frame up in a channel, so really I'm looking over here because I'm reading off like a teleprompter or something, and you can't tell, you think I'm looking at you. These can become a tool for something depending on what you need to do. So for me, business is the vehicle, right? And my vision of wanting to go do things like build orphanages or help clean up beaches, that's the mission, and that's the vision, right? The business is the vehicle aspect. That's what mechanical things like owning Bitcoin or having a diversified portfolio, managing your wealth properly, that's what the business represents. But just having money to pour into that vehicle so you can turn that fucking race car on and rip around the track, F1 race car fuel is not cheap. F1 race cars are not cheap. Business in general is not cheap to run or manage. So as a tool, money is extremely important for me because of the vision that I want to do. Not because I need more money to do my personal shit. I want more money so that I can help more people. If you're like, here, we're going to give you an extra $100,000 to go spend today on whatever you want, the first thing I would do with it is probably go build a fucking orphanage in Africa, because I wouldn't know what the fuck to do with it for myself, because it's not going to make my personal day any better unless I were to focus it on someone else. So I'm at a weird point in my life, and I don't know. I've been looking at the demographics of the channel. Most of the people that like what I have to say are between the ages of 35 to 55. Like, our key demographic on YouTube is 35 to 55. That's crazy. YouTube is mostly ages like 9 to 25. How am I missing out on the entire core demographic of YouTube? It's probably something we should work on, is becoming, maybe I'll do more vlogs, like we'll do more videos about going out and enjoying the world, because right now I'm having like the 70-year-old problem. Most of my friends are 50 to 70 because they're at that same point in life where they're just contemplative. We're learning how to be happy with everything, to develop personal well-being every step of the way. Anyways, that's a long-winded rant. I haven't even talked about Bitcoin whatsoever. You'd think I'm fucking high. I just woke up and there was snow in Costa Rica, so it's been a very confusing day, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what else to tell you. Here, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take some of your guys' questions now. That way, it's not just me ranting about what I'm going through. I hope it was helpful. I hope that me ranting, I mean, you guys are basically like my girlfriend right now. You're who I hang out with the most at this particular point. You guys, I mean, on a daily basis, the extra hour of conversation that I get with everyone, or 20-30 minutes, is actually quite a bit more than I get on with any consistent person in Costa Rica right now, aside from my like 2 best friends. And even then, you know, they're doing the same, they're flying all over the world. So let me answer some of your guys' questions, so I'm not just ranting about Tiho all the time. Who here? Crypto Liberty says, who here thinks money is real? Money is the most unreal thing in the world. It's a form of statics. therefore you'll never be wealthy until you buy crypto. I definitely think everyone should own Bitcoin. I've said this the entire time. Whatever price you buy it at, just understanding what it is in the world is a big investment that most people don't make. The sad thing, though, I think most people buy Bitcoin to make money instead of the core concept of what I'm getting at, is that I didn't buy Bitcoin to make more money. I bought Bitcoin because this is how we change the fucking world. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a part of the history of the world being written every goddamn day. That's what I'm most excited about. So wealth, yeah, is a very personal thing. Say my name says, if I had money, I would help the homeless elders in Sweden. It's increasing. Yeah, see, again, a lot of the times for when you get to a certain place of any type of comfort, what do you do? What are you driving for your life and purpose? Like, no, people don't just get a bunch of money and retire. Anyone that does that doesn't keep their money very long. I tell you that. They're driven to keep working and to find like more love and purpose in their life. So we'll leave it at that. I don't want to rant too much, but really, guys, this is just such a fascinating time to be alive. I got to find a better way to leave this Bitcoin chart open. Boom, 7501. God, such a powerful little beast here. This little race car right here is such a powerful little beast. On the 1 hour, beautiful. Well, we're testing it now. We're gonna find out. So you know what? I'm just gonna keep ranting with you guys, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what else to do. I think maybe what we should do is roll around and start to do outside trading more often. Like, wouldn't it be nice if we were to go out into the jungle and trade from there? I wonder what we'll do that tomorrow. I'm gonna set up and have coffee outside tomorrow. We'll bring the camera, the microphone. We'll sit out in the jungle by the ayahuasca and we'll do our live videos. I feel that there's a transition coming in the channel because I don't want to do live charts every day. I'm in a point in my life right now where most of my development is not coming from a monetary standpoint. It's really coming from personal development. Like I'm at a point where I've been not depressed, but I've been really looking for more purpose in life the last 2 years. Not money, because those days when we were making $50,000 a month, it doesn't. Cool. Great. It's super exciting. Let's see if we could, me and my old business partner, we spent a day trying to spend how much we made in just one day. We couldn't do it. We're like, fuck, on stuff. I mean, if you're going to buy a property, yeah, you can spend $5,000 in a day. It's no big deal. It's no big deal at all. You could spend that in like a quarter of a day. Shit, a private jet from here to Colorado, because we were looking, is $50,000. So you could spend it very, very fucking quickly. So I'm not saying you can't, but we were just like, our normal day lives, like try and spend it. Like, go get everything that you want right now. Like, oh, I'm maxing out. I got a new guitar pedal. Like, I bought a new clarinet. Like, I'm a fairly simple man here. I don't need a bunch of shit. I don't even want a fucking bunch of crazy depreciative assets in my portfolio. It's not worthwhile. Anyways, wow, I'm on the rant day today. I'm just don't even care about Bitcoin's price right now. So what am I trying to explain? I think that what I do feel is that there's a transition in the channel that's going back to more vlog and hopefully more long form podcast content. I really love that we had Bruce Lipton on last year, Dean Radin, Thomas Campbell, all these brilliant PhDs from physics to biology. I love that type of communication of value. It's really important for me. So I feel that Arcane Bear is going to get some of its original flair back, which is just that whole broad spectrum of content. The last 2 months has been just basically me sitting behind the charts and being excited. And now Bitcoin's price has gone up and I don't even fucking care. So I'm like, wait a second. Your portfolio is going up on a daily basis and you don't care. Oh, it's time to figure something else out. That's what it feels like. It's time to figure something else out. I have to make a change here. So in June, I'm planning a visit to an orphanage with some other content creators in Costa Rica. We're not sure which orphanage it is yet or what they need, but basically we're just going to go probably spend how much it costs, help them. I don't know, maybe they need a new fridge, new ovens, new textbooks or crayons or whatever. We're just going to go spend some of our money and make some kids smile for the day. I'm going to try to do that once every month or two, because otherwise I'm losing my shit, guys. Like, I don't care at all right now, and it's pretty depressing. See, you get like the excited version of me most of the time because I only come online for an hour or two, but I'm actually pretty fucking depressed right now in life. The human the fabric of society seems to be ripping apart. The family unit isn't as tight as it used to be. People just don't communicate to one another the way they used to anymore, and it makes me fucking sad. It really does. Anyways, so this is a transition in the channel, I think, is what's happening. Yeah, this is basically me realizing I need to do something else on a daily basis instead of just do charts with you guys. So we're gonna do this all the time still. We might just load it into our vlogs, or we're gonna make our updates to the private members only, which is basically the monthly newsletter, our outlooks on some of the investments that we're making. For instance, let's take a look at the charts now. I didn't even look at your guys' questions. I said I would. I'm having a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for bearing with me through my emotional fucking turmoil. Okay, so here's some of the stuff I'm excited about in the trading world. And it's pretty damn cool. Okay, so here we are. We're looking at Engine right now. So Engine has a gap down to the 200 MA of around 6% now. So it actually closed down a little bit from yesterday, which was 10% when we were up, which because we dropped another 5% essentially. Same with Raven. It's coming right down to the moving average support area, and it's actually, poof, look at that. It's just gone through it. Beautiful, beautiful. That's what we want to see. We want to see Bitcoin push Raven and Engine all the way down again, and then fucking ride another 600% gain in 30 days or whatever. People want to call it pump and dump, but this is just how these markets move. We have a growing ecosystem right now in the world of digital scarcity, and we have no fucking clue how much it's going to change the world. Like, this is just the beginning. When Vitalik Buterin said that, oh, we'll never see 1,000% gains again, he's fucking full of shit. I don't know how so many people can underestimate this space. It's not just Bitcoin. Like, yeah, Bitcoin, wow, 7,700, just like that. See? There it goes. We're going to run to 8,200 now in the next 24 hours. There we go. Bitcoin to $8,200. Should we trade the, should we change the title of the video? Let's change the title of the video, Bitcoin to 8,200, because that's where it's going now. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what happened today. I don't know what happened today. I woke up. I actually cried for a little bit this morning. I wasn't feeling super good. Like I said, my grandma passed away at the beginning of the year, and I've just been. So today is a fucking total out of sync day. I have no idea where this is headed. I just kind of jumped online live and figured, well, we might as well find out where this takes us. Bitcoin up at 7,700. So yeah, I think we're definitely going to the 8,250 mark. Very quickly. We might even see it in the next. I mean, if I stay online and keep telling you how ridiculous I feel, we might be able to see it in that time frame, because I feel pretty ridiculous, so I can rant for quite some time. Oh, interesting. I love that. Look at that beautiful spike upwards. Let's take a look on the 1 hour time frame. We actually just turned down, although we're still up on the MACD. 30-minute, everything's probably blaring upwards. Yeah, boom, everything's blaring upwards. I love that. I think PewDiePie is starting to do more like Photoshop videos. I see a PewDiePie playing around in Photoshop. So I think we're gonna hit 8,200. We're in crazy no man's land. The fear and greed index is just gonna bash us out. I think you know, who knows? Maybe this is the bull market, and we're just gonna keep running all the way to $20,000. I'm set in my position. I'm gonna keep making little swing trades off the back of Bitcoin when it does this. Again, every time it goes inverse with tokens like Engine or Raven, I seem to be able to pull in the exact opposite of what Bitcoin went up. So I keep stacking. At this moment, I don't even care what Bitcoin's price is. I don't even care, because now it's just one Bitcoin. As far as I'm concerned, it's just Bitcoin. I don't care what the US dollar price is anymore. And that's actually probably an amazing thing. That's probably a very clear indicator that we're headed towards a bull market. And if it's not here now, when we go there in the future, that's the sentiment that I want people to adopt, is that, wow, you have one Bitcoin. Not how many US dollars do you have, because in the meantime, you don't want to be spending your Bitcoin unless we get, look, it's going to go up, it's going to come back down. I think a big part of the lessons that people that have been here for the last year or two are really going to take into account is to learn how to, when we see tops at $200,000 Bitcoin next time, you put it into property, you put it into the other, ready and willing to learn how to take profits and risk adjust every step of the way. It's all about a ladder system to remove the emotion. I have no emotion in this game whatsoever anymore. The fact that Bitcoin is going up, and it's like, That's a bunch of money for me. I don't care. Oh, that's where you want to get. You want to get to the point where you don't care about money, whether you have it or not. I have a bunch of, like, when I was quite a bit younger, when I was about 18, 19 years old, I dropped out of school when I was around 15, right? So I ended up hitchhiking around a bunch. Most of my friends would sleep in the park. I'd play music with kids on the side of the street. I actually did quite well. I could make like $500 a night on Friday and Saturday playing music in front of the bars. So it was like, it wasn't like I was doing horrible, but I wasn't there. I didn't want to work a job regularly. I was just interested in enjoying life and spending a lot of time outside. And I'm still that same person. I think you really need to what wealth, I think, allows us to do is start to ask ourselves those questions that Buckminster Fuller made so clearly, is whatever you were doing when you were friggin' just 3 to 8 years old, that's what you want to get back to. Maybe you're building forts and you loved going for hikes. That's the kind of stuff that really interests me right now. You know, I went down for the sunset yesterday. I took the dog for a walk. Like, I'm just focusing purely on internal wealth right now. And today is a very noticeable day for me because I don't even fucking care that Bitcoin's price is going up. Doesn't even make a difference. Oh yeah, look at that. So the Telegram channel family's talking in the background. I'm gonna start. We have 130 people listening to me rant bullshit right now. So, look, Bitcoin's going to $8,200. I said 24 hours. Someone in the bear den said, yeah, maybe 24 minutes. Look at it go. 79, boom. 80. It's going to 82, and it's going to get there very, very quickly. 79.34. It's going there very, very quickly. So here, I'll show you why I think we're going to 8,200. See this first little spike outwards? It goes all the way to 83.05. If we break 83.05, Jesus Christ, ladies and gentlemen, it's amazing. Look, Bitcoin, like I said, again, I'm at a really weird point in my day today. I don't care. Bitcoin could go to $20,000 right now, and I don't even fucking care. I think that's a good thing. Oh God. Well, everyone, you know what I'm going to do though? I'm definitely going to hire someone. I'm going to hire 1 or 2 more people, I think, to help with all of this, because there's a lot going on and this is a lot to take in. So Bear Family, let's take a look at some of your guys' questions. It'll help get me out of the ranting mode. I'm going to open up my YouTube screen share on my iPad here, so I can actually hopefully look at your guys' questions without from the screen. A very interesting spot for me. Let's take a look at, let's see if there's any nice questions. CDW says it's quite normal to be depressed, but not so normal to admit it. It's actually quite brave. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just don't know what else to do. Guys, the snow threw me off this morning. One of my friends writes for the Rolling Stones Men's Journal. He's a fantastic writer. He's an awesome guy. We made a bet, and I told him, anyways, that whole snow thing really threw me off. It made me realize that there's a bunch more years ahead of us here, and we don't know what's coming. What's up, Arcane Bear? $7,800 Bitcoin. I know it's wow. 78, 79, fast spike. Shadow says, I wish I had your problems. There's a really great quote that one of my favorite quotes. It says, enjoy your problems because one day you won't have them. I'm actually grateful for the fact that I feel pretty shitty right now. It means I'm alive. I like that I have valleys and peaks in being. I don't think Dan Pena says if you say money doesn't buy you happiness, it doesn't know where to shop. That quote is a little older than that, and I agree with that one. I agree with that sentiment, but it doesn't really. It can buy you certain things for sure, but right now, like I said, I've got more money. Doesn't make any fucking difference to me. Well, I could do anything. I could fly anywhere. I could go do whatever the fuck I wanted. I could take a yoga retreat somewhere. Maybe I should take like an Ayurvedic Vipassana. These are some good ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, Arcane Bear might have to take a few weeks off. I might have to go take a fucking... we're still going to produce our newsletter and all of our private content because I'm actually really excited about our trading thesis because it's proven very valuable. having 3 to 4% gains every day the last few little while has brought in more Bitcoin into my account, and doesn't take that much effort. It's only maybe 2 or 3 hours a day. So I've got a really excited. My trading strategy is going really well. The newsletter's working. So I might have to take a break or something. I need some like downtime, or not downtime, but I don't know. I got to do something crazy, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I'd go jump out of an airplane, but that's not going to fix it. I think it needs to be like a more spiritual path. Like, I'm going to give away all my shit again and start over from scratch. I don't know. No, that's not it. Maybe it's time to. We're going to start building our campaign to Africa. We have a friend a friend who has in Zimbabwe. I think that's right. That started an orphanage a bunch of years ago. He has there's over 1,300 kids that live there now, and my friend said that when they walk up, you have to have 1,300 kids like run out and start singing as you guys arrive is unparalleled, and that's what I need in my life right now. So I'm gonna start planning that campaign. Anyone that's interested in the nonprofit sector, well, not nonprofit, this is actually a for-profit company, but we use our marketing budgets to do good things in the world because I don't know what the fuck else to spend our money on at this moment. I'm going to start building a campaign where we go to Africa and help them build a schoolhouse. Maybe they need internet. We can bring in computers. We can help teach some crypto stuff. But I really need to work on something other than just trading right now. Acquiring more assets isn't making no difference for me. Let's see. Love your message, bro. Stay strong. Good idea. Go surfing. Yeah, that's a great point. I should probably go fucking try to battle the ocean. That's a great it's a great place to be. Oh wow, look at that. We spiked up to 7,900 and we're back down to 7780. That's very, very, very fast. This is FOMO, ladies and gentlemen. That's what FOMO looks like. Parabolic movements every step of the way. It's beautiful. I'm actually super excited. There's that glimmer of me that's like, yeah, go decentralization. I'm super stoked for everyone that invested in this space. I'm stoked for all the Bear family members. I know everyone's been waiting for some type of life to come back into Bitcoin, and it not only did it come back, it came back fucking screaming. I really am so grateful for all of you for being supportive. The fact that I can come online and rant. It means a great deal to me. If I didn't have this, I'm not sure how well I would be taking this. You guys are my fucking family now, you know. So, anyways, super exciting. I hope everyone is super excited. This is a brilliant moment. History is being made every step of the way, and we're a part of it. I'm grateful to be a part of it with you guys and document this history, the kind of abstraction that's taking place. So it's super cool to see. And what a great ride to be a part of, you know. Anyways, I'm going to take a look at a few more of your guys' questions and thoughts again, and then we'll go from there. Maybe I can look at something other than Bitcoin. 8,200 is my target now, unless we just totally flop out here, which could be a case to just totally disappear on the last leg of extension. No, but 8,200 seems very, very relevant now, and maybe it looks like the Bitcoin bull run may have started, and oh wow, I'm assume and I hope most of you feel really good about it because it's a beautiful thing to be a part of. Okay, Randy, give your Bitcoin to me. People are so ridiculous that they don't listen. It's very much so bothers me. It's so ridiculous. This is their therapy for someone that has no money or probably has never had money, Randy. That's cool. That will go away very quickly. Most people, here's the thing too, guys. I made this sentiment the other day. A lot of people that end up getting a bunch of money really fast that don't know how to actually earn it or how to manage it or like have a long-term projection on what they should be doing. It doesn't last long for you. So if you're getting super excited about a short-term burst of wealth and you have no real skill set to get you there, it's probably not going to last very long. So I recommend everyone invest more time into themselves, finding ways to provide more value to each other, That's actually my biggest investment advice, and this is the only time I'll ever give investment advice, is learn how to invest yourselves in one another more deeply, to your family, to your friends, to the random person you meet on the side of the street that looks like they fucking might need like a little bit of a good day. Like there's a few kids here I know that are around the ages of 17 to 19, and man, to see the change in their life from watching the Arcane Bear is crazy. They've started little companies. They do beach cleanups with all the kids. They help the children at the orphanages. Like when you do good things for other people, it spreads out like fucking wildfire. And that's my only investment care now. Now that Bitcoin's going up in price, my only investment care is other people and the well-being of others, because it brings purpose into my life, and that's the only value that I've found. Like I've been depressed since January, and I just continually trying to be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. So anyways, I'm super excited. Thank you for all the Arcane Bear members that have signed up to the newsletter. We're really excited to bring the next newsletter, our deep dive. We had a new chapter in trading come out. Another one's coming out in 2 weeks. We've just been relentless in content creation for you guys. And like I said, once we find that little band of success there, what we're going to start doing is once every month or two, we're going to use the marketing budget from the newsletter. So for all the private members, you guys are going to basically help us going to these orphanages and doing stuff. That's where we're going to funnel that extra marketing dollar. That was one of the big points of the whole Arcane Bear, was to funnel our marketing budgets into doing good for other people. Because look, it's not just about giving money away to charity. That never does anyone any good. You can't just give stuff away to people. People actually love it when they have to pay for something, because now they're personally invested in what they've paid for, and they're generally more likely to actually do something useful because they invested themselves into it. So just giving stuff away to like people is not a good idea. Someone's like, oh, just give me your Bitcoin. It's like, fuck you, you fucking idiot. You didn't listen to a goddamn fucking thing I said. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to give to your dumb charity. I don't want to give to any charity ever. I think charity is a disgrace. It's probably one of the most broken fucking ecosystems we have. Look, but when in terms of helping like children or elderly, it's like, man, these people are the people in our society that we should be helping, because they're the ones that brought us to where we are, and the ones that will keep us going long after we're gone. So I look at charity in a different model, in terms of like just giving to people, and in terms of like helping people figure out what they want. Like for instance, when we go to the orphanage, it's not that we're bringing them fucking stuff that makes a difference to the kids. The fact that we show up with like 2 or 3 or 4 people that are smiley, and we play music and we laugh and we sing with the kids, that's what's valuable to them. What's valuable to them is the moments that you share of your personal wealth. You're like, oh, they show up with cameras, and like, wow, it's inspiring for them. So for you guys as well too. Like if you can go to your an orphanage, you don't have to bring much. You buy them crayons and pens. It's going to cost you like $100. You're going to have a moving, very moving day. Don't give it to the fucking Red Cross or some shit. You just go do something nice for people. And really, I only aim it at the people that can't do for themselves, right? It's one of these weird paradoxes. The whole world is like, oh, you need to learn how to love yourself. It's like, I'm in a point right now where I need to learn how to love the people that don't love themselves, the people that are at the very fucking bottom, because those are the people that need it the most. Anyways, man, I'm having a day. Jesus Christ. Bitcoin at $7,800. I feel sorry for everyone who joined the trading channel thing. Look, Bitcoin's going to $8,200. That's I don't need to say anything more. I could show you all the indicators for why I think that's the case. But personally, right now, what I'm doing is I'm ranting about what I think wealth is. I guess it's a very interesting move. Yeah, and beautiful. Here we go too, pushing the trades I'm interested in making right down near the bottom. That's a beautiful thing. Ravens dropped down 8%, and Bitcoin's up 12%. Woo-wee! That's a great moment. Everyone's stoked. Everyone in the Bear family is stoked right now. I can feel that. There's just zeros are being added to everyone's portfolio. It's a beautiful thing. But anyways, this is fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys all so much for letting me go through this moment. I needed someone to chat with, and you guys are my fucking therapists right now. You're allowing me to vent and clear my mind and go over all the random shit that I have going on. Someone says, how can I work with you on Africa? So you guys, I'm going to try to aim for the Africa thing. That one's going to take probably about the next 3 months, maybe 4 months to really develop. We have some stuff that we're working on in Australia as well. There's a company there that's put up around well, whatever, it doesn't matter, but they've got around a 6-figure budget to go do this kind of stuff. So we're chatting with them. So for anyone that's interested in helping us grow this idea from any way, shape, or form, just email me, to@arcanebear.com. There's a few of you that have already really made a big contribution. Dale, thank you. You helped me work on the pitch decks for some of this stuff because, yes, there's a pitch deck for the orphanage building. We've also done beautiful budgets because we're looking at, I've been cold calling Toyota in Costa Rica to see if they want to give us a truck and a few influencers so we can go do a beach cleanup with a bunch of the surfers. So I've been in the background working on doing that kind of stuff all over the board. So if anyone's interested in helping that, you have any inclination to do that, it is designed to be a profitable business model. But the main focus right now is actually just doing the work. So I'm going to start building these campaigns. The one that is in Africa is with 2 good friends of mine. We've already priced out how much it will cost to build the school. We're just looking at, okay, well, you need flights for all the people. You need insurance for the team to go there. So I'm just building the budget in general because it's not a cheap endeavor to go build a school. Because I don't want to just give the money to them to build the school. I want to go build the fucking school. Like, this is the thing about charity that's often lost. Like, oh, I'm just going to give like my penance. No, I don't want to just give penance of fucking paper. I want to go do something that makes a difference and leaves an impact on the future generations. And that's one of the reasons. This is why we started the Arcane Bear. I guess I should be more worried about the fact that our demographics is 35 and up because I'm missing the whole entire younger generation. Anyways, I think this is a big capitulation in the Arcane Bear channel. We're still going to do our market updates all the time, but I think I'm going to focus more on the development of business and personal self. So you might see more vlogs come out about being depressed because someone's got to fucking do it, and I don't give a shit right now. So might as well be telling everybody how I feel and the things that I'm doing to help counteract it. The things that really make a difference are super simple. So I'm going to start doing more of the eclectic content. I mean, some of our very first videos on YouTube were all about planting pineapples or the DMT that we grow here. I have to get back into that stuff. It's a lot more valuable to me right now than money, and that's a crazy thing. I hope everyone gets to a space where they can recognize that. You don't need a shit ton of money to recognize that. You need a deeper appreciation and wealth of gratitude for what you already fucking have, and that's what I'm working on. That's what I've been working on for the last two years, is to be nicer to myself. Some of you guys pointed out yesterday, I was like, oh, to get this stupid face off the screen. It's like, I'm not always even nice to my fucking self. Anyways. Whew. It's crazy. It's crazy what when things that are going good should make you feel good turn opposite and make you realize what's truly important. It's a crazy day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm having a crazy day. So thank you all for bearing with us. Bitcoin is definitely, I think, is going to definitely test that $8,200 area. Let's take a little bit closer of a look on the 1 day for how we get there on its little stepping stone way up. Okay, we're going to need the volume profile. Let's take it off log so it gives us more data a little more clearly here. Yeah, so the next big bout of resistance is at 8,000, and we touched right up against the top of that first one at 79.60, and then that character brings us up to 81.80 and then 83.50. So we could very well see a fill all the way to 83.50. Although it looks like we're going to might try to fill this 74 to 7,900 range before we do that. But at this point, all bets are off the table. I'm not looking for exiting Bitcoin. Again, I only grabbed about 30% of what I could have actually spent on purchasing power in Bitcoin when it was down near the $3,000 area. That was great for me. I did leave, like I said, I left more that were down below 2,500 and 1,800, and sure, let's say I was wrong, but that to me is a strategy, and breaking my strategy feels wrong. Following corrective ideas looks right. So when Tyler Jenks saying he was going to enter again at 6,900 in the $6,500 area, that's great. I didn't even want to take those lower buys out and put them there because at this point, I'm probably actually going to go spend the money on building a pool. or something here, because it's all enjoyment of the immediate life that you have in front of you. So the thing I'm most excited about, I've got a friend coming over tomorrow, and her and I are hopefully going to write some really dark, tormented music together. I'm really looking forward to that. That's like the highest point of wealth in my life right now. I'm like, we get to write some music together. Yeah, anyways, I think this definitely marks a transition for the bull market and for the Arcane Bear channel in general. I have to do something to make sure that we're always focusing on the personal development side and the personal wealth, and doing more for other people. So thank you all for joining us. I'm super excited about the next little bit. We've got some great stuff coming up in the newsletter. I'm really, aside from the fact that I've had a little bit of a crazy day, I think we're going to be able to pull off multiple 100% moves again in the next little while. We did it last year off the back of Bitcoin a few times. We even saw 1,000% moves. It doesn't really matter for me whether it's a 5% move or 1,000% move. I like playing in this ecosystem. More again, I don't do this because I need or want more money. I do this because I actually like doing it. I actually like trading. I like all these fucking stupid colorful, I love all these, let's be nicer about everything. I love all these brilliantly colorful charts. I'm so grateful that we have the opportunity to like play around in the waves. I feel like a goddamn dolphin. Like as the markets are going up this way, they go down this way, and I see them capitulate, and I dive in the wave over here. We pull off another 10%. I fucking love that feeling. Not because it adds more money into my account, but because I like doing it. It's like surfing to me. I've always been a little more like physically apprehensive, right? So the first time I almost felt scared from surfing, I didn't go back in for almost a year. I just kind of stayed out of the waves. But this for me, it puts like, I get like going. I actually really like trading. It's been one of those things I added to my like daily kind of thing to do, and I love it. And that's what I think is important too, is part of the wealth of my day, like my daily structure is, I wake up in the morning, I do a little bit of meditation, I have my coffee, I check the markets, I play a little bit of guitar, I jump online, I do a video, maybe I'll make a small little swing trade here or there, maybe I just hold back and say, holy shit, Bitcoin, good job. But I really appreciate this part, and I think that's what everyone should be striving to do, is find things in life that they enjoy doing and just keep doing that. Even if it doesn't make you money. Like I think women are extremely emotionally intelligent for this particular thing. They will often give up higher paying jobs to spend more time with their family, or they'll give up higher paying jobs to take a job that pays less because it's in the realm of helping other people. I'm more and more starting to lean into the ideas like, I don't even fucking care. Even if I'm getting paid less, it's more rewarding for me to help people. Anyways, crazy day for me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for joining us. Again, my next target here for where we find any type of resistance is 8,200, and then from that, who knows, maybe we just run all the way to 20,000 and we just go, or all the way to 11,000 maybe we do that in the next month. That would be crazy, but hey, maybe that's what happens. And again, I'm not my trade strategy isn't just to be like, oh my god, I missed the bottom, I didn't buy all of the things that I want. Again, most of the people that follow the channel are 35 and up, which means they already have a portfolio, they already have exposure to the stock market, they already own property and vehicles and have children or some shit, So I definitely understand that this isn't geared towards the younger generation of people that are like, oh my god, if I just put everything into Bitcoin, I could be like doing really well right now. This whole sentiment is actually geared more towards people that are in the same point of life that I'm at, which is finding value far beyond the dollar terms. Everybody needs more money, right? So this is the sentiment. It's like, oh, just give me your Bitcoins. No, I still need more fucking money to spend on building orphanages. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Like right now, my current asset evaluation is like, okay, well, how do we build Arcane Bear to be a bigger company so that we can go build more orphanages? That's like my only concern. So we've brought on some teammates in the background. Like I said, in June, we're going to be working with, check out this beautiful woman, Marcy Yu Instagram. So Marcy is one of the good friends here I've made over the last 2 years doing some what we call influencer work with. She travels all over the world. She's was one of the marketing developer or lead marketing reps for Ralph Lauren. She quit to pursue her own passion and take photos and travel. And now this is how she gets paid. Her entire life is getting paid to do photos and travel to all these nice resorts and da-da-da. She's brilliant. So her and I are working on our orphanage visit in June. So if anyone's in Costa Rica, we have 2 other big content creators. So we're going to have around 500,000 followers in total that we bring with us to the orphanage. So it'll be around 3 to 4 content creators in Costa Rica. I'm basically renting us all a house the night before we go. And then we'll have a few cameras. We're gonna bring a bunch of gifts to the kids. So I'm super excited about that. Follow Marcy if you guys are interested in Instagram and beautiful photos and people that are inspiring in terms of like we're doing what you love and kind of going against the grain. So we're really, really excited to be working with Marcy in the mid of June when she gets back from her trip. And then we're just going to keep trying to build those things. And the further we go, the better we'll get at it, is my hope. So also shout out to Leah Hayes on YouTube. I think that's her YouTube name. Anyways, Leah Hayes, a woman who's worked in the nonprofit sector, who has helped do a bunch of initiatives, raise a few $1 million. She's working as kind of our operations developer. Once she's done, she's on a short contract gig. And the rest of you that have reached out in the background, like I said, that have helped me develop these ideas. We're working on a few ways to build those campaigns so that you guys can not give donations, but so that you can have an on-ramp to help build the school. I don't want any of your fucking money in terms of donations. If you want to give us money to spend on advertising and marketing because you know that's the best thing to do for a company, then I'm interested. But in terms of donations, what we're looking at doing is providing an on-ramp so that there's a way to get you guys involved, but not have any of your money involved in the company. Because as soon as someone takes donations, you have a bunch of fucking idiots who are like, oh, why'd you spend my donation money on marketing and advertising? It's like, because you're retarded. If you don't realize that if I take $1 and spend it on marketing and advertising, I can turn it into $5, you don't understand how business fucking works. And you don't belong in any sector of the industry, whether it's for helping people or otherwise. And I think the part of the story that I'm most excited about is really changing the dialogue about how we do to go build orphanages. Otherwise, you just can't compete with the private violent video game sector, and that's where we need to be. So for me, a big part of this is mostly about getting the business to the level where it can it doesn't even need to compete. I just like the humble aspect. So thank you guys all for helping us get there. We're already there now. Like I said, I'm going to have to come up with a new way to do videos. I don't know if it's going to be live videos on trading anymore. I don't think we need it. I'll definitely do the once a Sunday live trade thing because it's just huge. I mean, 4 or 5%. Yesterday on the live stream, we made almost $350. It was fantastic. And it was like 2 hours. We made like $400, almost $400 in 2 hours. Well, we were live just shit talking with you guys. It was fantastic. I played the guitar, had a great time. So we'll still do that stuff, but I'm definitely gonna have to start putting more like live music or just rants or videos about plants and stuff again, because I just I need to start focusing on what interests me more, and apparently it's not having more money. The only reason a shit ton more money right now would be exciting for me is because I would be like, great, I have okay, so I'll let you guys know one of the things we're working on. So recently, I've made friends, and I want to, and this is not set in stone. So if anyone knows anyone that knows the persons that I'm talking about, and they share this information, the person's like, oh, we never signed any contracts yet. Please know that I'm telling you that there's no specifics. Okay, well, let's not use any specifics. This year I made friends with someone who manages a massive resort all around the world. They've got resort chains all around the world, and they're coming to Latin America to build like 5 or 6 different resorts here. And we've been chatting with them about what it would look like to go in and build an orphanage or basically a nonprofit for them that's attached to the construction of their new hotel, right? So that every year that they can give money to the orphanage or the school that's close by to the hotel, and then they can hire people, and then they can actually have products in their hotel like for the rainy season, maybe they'll sell umbrellas where portions of the proceeds go to actually continually funding the school supplies or their teachers. Because what we want to help them build is a little in-house marketing structure for like bespoke campaigns. So the entire fucking reason I'm here right now, and the only reason I'm excited about more money, is because I want to spend it on finding contracts like those, because those are multi-million-dollar contracts to build orphanages. It's not like, oh, we're going to take get 50 grand. No, there's some serious fucking game in this. So for those of you that know what I'm talking about, I do look forward to those emails. So hopefully we're going to make a few little visits to some of these new resorts that they're building, and with any luck, we can convince this massive chain to spend on how to create this infrastructure and how to use it as a not just a feel-good marketing campaign, but a necessity. That the real story, I think, here is that every business should be spending their money doing this, because we are at the brink of a societal collapse, because the disparaged people at the bottom, they will come and eat the rich. If you have a lot of money and we have a societal flip, it was not helpful to have a lot of money during Russia at the wrong time. They fucking came to kill you. So anyways, we're headed into a very interesting space. I'm super excited. So this is trading Bitcoin. You just, I've had a hodl position since $90. Haven't touched it. So from that, I was able to make a few amazing trades last year, and some. I won't even talk about the bad stuff, but we made some amazing trades last year, and even this year. We had Raven for 400%, almost twice in 6 months. Everyone scoffed when we took our percentage of the first run at 800 satoshis, and it ran to 950. And they're like, "See, why'd you sell at 850? It's still going up." I'm like, "That was close enough for me, guys. Just take profit, shovel it back into my account. Take profit, shovel it back into the account." And keep growing. This is not done. Every step of the way, this is not done. So we're definitely not, the newsletter is only going to become one of the most imperative parts for how I produce the content on the trades that I'm making. Again, that's $30 a month to sign up for. I will still do live trade videos, but I'm going to get a lot more into just content creation in general, because it's going to make me feel better and happier. Apparently more money in trade. Like, I love trading, so that's why we do it, but I'm going to start mixing up a little bit more on the content side of things here. Just to hopefully help me make it through this next phase a little bit easier. Okay. Nice. Take a look at some of your guys' thoughts and questions here. Bitcoin is going up. What are you saying? What you're saying now is more valuable, to be honest. Great. Now that Bitcoin is going up, everyone likes my rants about wealth being internal. I love that. That's a great thing to know. Oh, nice. Thank you guys so much. Someone says I'm boasting. If you think I'm boasting, you are not fucking listening at all. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Look, someone says they're making a judgment on how I eat. No, I'm depressed because my grandma passed away in the beginning of January, and she was always my biggest fan, you know? Ain't nobody know me like my grandma knew me. That's just sad. So no, what the fuck I eat isn't going to make a difference, you asshole. Like, get real. All those people are like, hey, if you're depressed, just don't be depressed. It's like, you fucking moron. Shut up. Like, you have no clue what you're saying. You're boasting much. You're not listening at all. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking asshole. You can't listen. Love people like that. That's probably why we lose the younger age group, is because I tell them all to fuck off because they say dumb shit. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. Interesting how much swearing was involved with the charity pitch. See, people that's fucking hilarious. What people don't understand is that people that do good in the world, actually there's a lot of scientific studies that show the more you swear, the higher your IQ is. Look, I'm not saying my EQ is the highest, right? I'm not saying like I'm emotionally adept right now. I'm like obviously having emotional troubles. Yeah, you should be swearing more often because it makes a huge fucking difference. And fuck charity. I don't think charity is a good thing. And none of this is a charity pitch. Charity's fucking broken. God, people and their non-ability to listen. Fuck all the people and the haters that can't listen. Clean your goddamn ears. Take some time to study music. It will make you a better person. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at fuck charity, fuck all the haters, and screw people that don't know how to listen and understand where individuals are coming from. I don't give a fuck. I'm super tired of those people right now, and I'm just not having a good day for it. So you know what? Screw you. Everyone else I love, though. Actually, I love all the people that don't listen too. I just wish you fucking did, because it would make my life a lot easier. No swearing allowed. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't even know what the fuck today's video was about. I think it was basically me telling all the core members that I'm going through a transition. We're gonna switch this up a little bit. We're gonna focus all of our trade divergence and specifics into the newsletter, so that the people that are signed up, there's massive value in there. If you don't know how to see that, it's kind of abstract. For instance, right? I mean, anyone that followed the Raven trade in 400%, even if you only put $20 in, that's enough for the next 6 months, right? It's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal to know what you're doing and when you're needing to do it. So even though I'm super excited about Bitcoin going up in price, we saw much bigger gains come out of Raven, right? So it's it just means more fun time for us to play around in. Oh yeah, why aren't you people in church? Why are we not in church? It's not Sunday. What is? Oh my jeez. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sure I've showed you one of the most abstract sides of myself that you'll ever see. My portfolio is going up, and I don't give a shit. It's actually somehow more depressed about the day. Maybe it's just more into the depth of the realization that it doesn't make any difference for me right now. Great. But yes, it does, because we're going to go visit the orphanages. We'll figure that out. We'll make it the key point of what we're doing. I want flute music. We'll try the guitar because I'm working on something. We'll go with that. I know you want the flute is good, but I've actually been working on something on the guitar that I quite like. So I'm just going to end it off with here. And again, I want to end it off by saying how deeply fucking grateful I am. For all of your support. The fact that there's 120, 30 people that have listened to me rant about, I don't even know what the fuck I've been talking about for the last hour is impressive. Thank you guys so much. This is a very raw side. I'm going to play the guitar because we did the flute. We've done the flute a few times, and I'm working on a new album right now. And I'm super excited to have the woman come sing because her voice is way sexier than mine. It's like you don't even want to hear me sing. But yeah, this is one of the songs we're working on. So I'm just going to end it off that. I hope you guys have some fun in the Bitcoin waves. It looks like it, who knows? I hope it goes to $150,000 next week. Oh, you like the harmony from the flute. That's nice. We'll do the flute tomorrow. We're going to start doing more videos again. I apologize, guys. Anyways, that's a new song we're working on. I'm really excited about that. Steph says, maybe consider that many of us here are trying to do the exact same thing you are. So instead of hating what we're doing here, I don't hate what we're doing here. Sorry. Let's make this very clear. I don't think people are here in the Arcane Bear channel just because they're here to make money. I think we've actually lost the people that are just here to make money a long time ago. They don't like most of what I have to say, I think, because it's none of it's advice. I'm just sharing what I'm going through. And what I'm going through right now is that my purpose in life is to build more purpose. It's not to, the extra money is, you'd have to give me a fuck ton more for it to make a difference, like $100 million. That's the only time it'd be like, yep. Because like I said, my last businesses, I was making $50,000 a month. And right now, even if my business was making $50,000 a month, it's not going to change how I feel. The only thing I would be doing differently is I'd be going to build as many orphanages as I could. So hopefully we get back to that space. That's what I'm interested in doing. That's the main point of all this for me. So you guys want the flute? Cool. We'll do the flute too. Why not? I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing anymore. Just obviously having a day. I'm going through some shit. Hopefully I figure it out and I can come back tomorrow and have a clearer, fresher mind on everything, because I don't want to drag everyone through that. Okay, we'll play a little flute. It's 107 people online. That's like a great little intimate audience at a private club somewhere. So thank you guys all. I'll leave us off with a little bit of native flute. Let's make sure this thing's actually in tune before we start playing as well. This is the snake charmer song for Bitcoin to go to 20,000. Okay, leave it at that. Thank you guys all for bearing with the Bear family. I really appreciate it. Say I actually feel a lot better than when I started this channel. Not when I started this channel, but when I started the stream today, I was actually I almost cried like 3 fucking times during this. This is just crazy. So thank you guys all for being supportive of whatever the hell it is we do here. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to find something to make a video about, so I have like a vlog instead of this one. Again, so we're going to find a way, maybe like a more of a routine setting, so it's just not always trade videos, so I can help get out some of the shit I'm going through, and hopefully it's helpful for other people as well. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys on the other side. Jesus, what a beautiful day. I hope you are all enjoying and very grateful for the wealth that you have, and I hope that it increases tenfold. I pray that all of your wealth increases tenfold for everyone that's out there, even the people that don't fucking listen, even the people that say dumb shit. I hope everything goes well for you guys, because it makes the world a better place.